iHeart and Bloomberg launch new shows. From Brisbane, the latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. iHeart Media and Bloomberg Media have announced an upcoming slate of new shows. The first will be a daily podcast about crypto called Bloomberg Crypto. Riverside has added more descriptive file names and has improved live video quality, bumping up the default from 480p up to 720p. Riverside, Squadcast, Restream and Captivate will be adding new integrations with editing software Descript. There's a launch event on June the 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern. Last week we reported that Spotify's to bring back political ads. Protocol notes that they'll not be available within Spotify's music service, just Spotify's podcast network. A new app called Snippods is launching in alpha for iOS and Android. It lets you save and share snippets of interesting parts of podcasts you listen to. And Nick Hilton has written up his day at the podcast show. Podfest has been going on over the weekend. Dave Jackson rocked the joint and Libsyn had a large stand. Pod Machine offered a special discount and Glenn the Geek and Jamie Le Gagneur were asked to be MCs at the last minute. We've pictures in our show notes and our newsletter today. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff. RSS will be adding free transcripts for everyone in the next few months, the company said in a piece we published last week about fighting podcast spam. If you've ever seen a fail whale on Podnews' website, we've still got a fail whale, even if nobody else uses them now. We spent some time over the weekend reconfiguring our database connections to avoid that in future. Who knows if we'll succeed? We'll probably find out today. Nathan Gaithright has written a listener's guide to boostergrams, which is very helpful. Customatic now converts sats to dollar amounts to help you understand how much you're sending to your favorite podcaster. 10,000 sats are about $3, in case you're wondering. If you use Alby, a plugin to help you send crypto on the Lightning Network, Podverse now helps you send a boostergram directly from a podcast page. You can try sending 10,000 sats to this very podcast. Would love that. Thank you. And boost! Thank you to Dave Jones, Adam Curry, Medus, Chris Lass, The Mere Mortals podcast, and Oscar Merry for your kind boosts over the last few weeks. We link to where to get a new podcast app that'll help support us using value for value in our show notes and our newsletter today. And in podcast news from Lemonada Media, Last Day confronts massive epidemics with humanity, wit and a quest for progress. This season, they dive into the gun violence epidemic in America and answer the question of how to live more safely in a country full of guns. APM Reports, which produced the multi-award-winning In the Dark podcast, has been shut down. There were 18 people working on the program. It's unclear how many will be retained by the company. Is this the oldest podcast guest of all time? Soul Brew thinks so. A 92-year-old stars in the latest episode of the podcast with stories of living in rural Donegal in Ireland. If you know different, please let us know. And How to Start Over is brand new from The Atlantic today, hosted by Olga Kazan, relevant to many right now who are itching for a reset, how to reinvent ourselves, whether in work, in our relationships, or in our personality. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.